I headed to my local home improvement store and I picked up 2 dowels. We've been slowly renovating our basement, and for now this room has become our catch-all storage space. But the only downside is that you can see everything inside the room through the glass. I measured the width and the height of my door to start. I have this gorgeous fabric that I picked up at my local thrift store for $2. I marked out the length and then I cut my fabric accordingly. I got very lucky with this fabric and the width was perfect. I just had to sew over the selvage seam so that you don't see all this writing here on the side of the fabric. So I just folded it over and then ran it through my sewing machine. And once I had it sewed down both sides, I had to do the top and bottom. So I had to make a pocket for the dowel to slide through. And then I put some straight pins in to hold it while I sewed the pocket down at the edge. Now I'm going to bring in my little nylon cable clamps and I'm just going to slide them onto the dowel. It's a perfect fit. So I placed my first dowel at the top, just putting my screw in just on one side. Then I slid on my curtains with the pattern facing out of the door and then scrunched it up. Now, the one thing I didn't mention earlier is that for the width, you want to make sure you have double the fabric at the width of the glass so that they bunch nicely. I'm going to add the other nylon cable clip on the other side and screw that in, and the top part is attached. To attach the bottom, I'm just going to slide my second dowel down into the pocket that I made, put my nylon cable clamp on, and then I'm going to attach these with some screws just as I did at the top, but making sure I pull the curtain nice and taut so that it's not bunched up in the middle. And then this is the finished curtain here on the inside of my door. The eventual plan is to turn this into a spare bedroom space, and I think that I might just leave the curtain because it adds some great privacy. It totally suits my cottagecore aesthetic, and I cannot wait to finish putting this space together, but I am so happy that I have added this little temporary solution here for now.
I've got a special gift I want to make for my wife. I grabbed this old hutch for free, and I want to do some magic with it. First things first, got to get all these doors off. I also want to get it all cleaned out, and I used an air blower. As you can see, it is really dirty and really dusty. I also need to make sure all the surfaces are clean because we're going to prime and paint. Also, I need to get all of the hardware off of the doors. I don't need those anymore, but the hinges I do need and I will save for later. Next thing, I need to get some primer on all of the wood parts. I'm going to put them on the shelves and on the side and inside of the hutch. A good primer is what is needed to keep the paint from sticking and keep it from peeling. When you get the primer on, you want it to set for a good 24 hours. Now I'm going to go to a good cabinet paint and put it jet black. I love this color. It does take a couple of coats, sometimes 3, because it's going to give you a nice smooth finish. Once that's drying, I'm going to hit those hinges with some gold paint, make them look really nice. The next step, I'm going to grab some pre-primed shiplap and I'm going to start cutting that because it's going to go into the back of my hutch. I'm going to cut as many pieces as I need. And once I get those ready, I need to paint them. Again, it's going to take 2 coats of some nice white cabinet paint. I'm going to paint all of these shiplap pieces, making sure I also get the sides. Then I'm going to use some glue because I want to fasten it to the back of the hutch. This glue is really strong, but I also, what you don't see here is I use a staple gun to put it in place. Once I get all of these pieces on, it's time to put the shelves back in. These again look really nice and really smooth. Back to the doors, I'm going to put some hardware on there. I grabbed these gold pieces and they look really good against the black. Then I found some glass that I'm going to use to fill in the doors with. I want to give them a fluted look. So I grabbed some liner that I ordered off Amazon and I cut them to size. These fluted pieces are really good and you just roll them out and again, trim them as you need. You're also going to peel the backs off of them. Now, when you pull the backs off, they actually don't stick just like that. Look at that. It just comes right off. What you have to do is take a spray bottle and spray it with some nice clean water. And you're going to do this also to the back side of the fluted sheet. Spread that over, take it, smooth it out, and then you're going to use a little squeegee. And you're going to start squeegeeing the water out between the two of them. This allows the fluted sheet to stick to the glass. You can also use plexiglass if you want, but the glass is nice and clear and gives it a great look. Once I get it squeegeed out, I'm going to take a razor blade and I'm going to trim off the sides, all 4 sides. Once that's trimmed up, it's time to put the glass panels into the doors, and then I use these little hooks that I got that squeeze together and put them on. Now that I got it, look at how amazing this looks. Let's take that hutch inside, put the doors on, and look at this. It absolutely looks amazing. I know my wife's gonna love it. And what I love the most about it is those fluted doors. They look awesome.
We've been renovating our kitchen on a budget, but because of the new sink size, we can't put our original cabinetry doors back. So I took some measurements of the width and the height. I painted 2 coats on the pine trim piece and my flat decorative corbels. Next, I sewed some simple curtains to fill this area. With my curtains sewn, all I have to do is slide my tension rod through the panels like so, and then just simply push this tension rod up between the opening. I took the flat trim piece and used an air nailer just to secure it. Then I added my decorative corbels into place. This is such a super simple project and easy to do, and I love the way this just finishes up this space with a farmhouse touch. Now, this clutter under my sink is hidden with these beautiful curtains.
Grab a wood dowel rod that is 1 1/8 inch in diameter and a set of 2 wood finials. On the end of each of the dowel rods, drill a hole that is centered and about an inch deep. Take both the dowel rod and the 2 finials and spray paint them in a color of your choosing. It works best if you spray several light coats for even coverage. Once everything is dry, screw in the finials to the end of the rod to make sure they fit. Now take a couple of simple J-hooks. Take a couple of wrenches and pull so the J-hook opening is just a little bit wider. Now take these J-hooks and screw them into the wall with a drill above a window. You may need to use a screwdriver to tighten them into the wall. To give your room a sense of added height, place the hooks so they are closer to the ceiling rather than closer to the window. With 1 finial removed from the dowel rod, thread 2 curtain panels onto the rod and then screw the finial back on. Hang the drapery rod and curtain panels onto the J-hooks in the wall. Depending on the size of your window, you may need to hang 1 or 2 of the curtain tabs on the outside edge of the J-hooks so the curtain looks even across the top of the rod. You now have a classic drapery rod for hanging curtains for just a few dollars and very little invested time.
I grabbed an old window and transformed it. I started by cutting up a pallet, removing the boards and hammering all the nails out. I gave them a light sand on all sides and edges and trimmed them to length to make a square frame the same size as the window. I used my Craig jig to make 2 pocket holes on each end of the 2 boards, making the square frame. I cut and sanded 3 more boards to fit the inside width and used pocket holes to secure them to the frame. I placed a wood block between each row to ensure the boards would be even. I set the pallet frame aside and I sanded the window frame using a palm sander for the surface, and I hand sanded the inside edges and hard to reach spots. I taped on either side where the caulking was and applied new white caulk with silicone and wiped smooth with a damp finger. I immediately removed the tape to reveal a clean finish. I attached hinges to secure the window to the pallet frame, making sure to pre-drill before screwing it in. I added a glass knob in the middle of the right side of the window. I added a magnet in the top right corner and a screw and washer on the inside top right side of the window for a magnetic closure. I cleaned the glass really well and sprayed soapy water all over the surface and applied a window cling that makes it look like stained glass. I attached a piece of 1/4-inch plywood with wood glue and brad nails to the back, and now I have the most stunning cabinet that looks like it's made with stained glass. I hope this inspired you to source an old window and make it into a beautiful stained glass cabinet. Thanks for watching Home Talk, and see you next time.